Imagine you are the most famous writer on the planet. You are wealthy. You are a count. And your books are read from Moscow to New York. And yet, the people closest to you, your wife, your children, and the very church you were born into, viciously hate you. Leo Tolstoy spent the final decades of his life as a man under siege. He had done nothing wrong by traditional standards. He hadn't stolen, he hadn't lied. In fact, he was trying to live the most moral life possible. And yet, his own wife once wrote in her diary that she wished for his death. The Russian Orthodox Church excommunicated him, and the government had him under constant surveillance. Why? Why does the world often reserve its deepest hatred for those who are simply trying to be better? Today, we are using Tolstoy's tragic and epic life to uncover the 4 psychological reasons people hate you for no reason. Because, as Tolstoy discovered, it is never actually for no reason. It is because of what you represent. Reason 1. The mirror of the shadow. Tolstoy's first realization was that his virtue was a threat to other people's comfort. When he gave up his wealth, started wearing peasant clothes, and began working the fields, he wasn't attacking his family. But to them, his actions felt like a jagged mirror. Your growth reminds them of their own stagnation. The psychologist Carl Jung developed the concept of the shadow. He argued that we all have parts of ourselves we deny: our greed, our laziness, our fear. When you start to improve yourself, you become a living shadow for those around you. They hate you because they cannot stand the comparison. As Tolstoy wrote in his diaries, "If you want to be popular, stay in the mud. The moment you stand up and clean yourself, those still in the mud will despise you for the light you reflect." Reason 2. The law of broken expectations. People don't hate you for who you are. They hate you for failing to be who they want you to be. Tolstoy's wife, Sophia, didn't marry a saint. She married a world-famous aristocrat who provided a life of luxury. When he changed the script, when he decided to give away the royalties to his books, he broke the unwritten contract of their marriage. You are a character in their story. When you stop playing your role, you ruin their plot. Social psychology calls this expectancy violation theory. We develop cognitive maps for how people should act. When you deviate, even for a good reason, you create psychological friction. Tolstoy's sin was that he became unpredictable. People fear what they cannot predict, and what they fear, they eventually hate. Reason 3. The challenge to the group soul. Tolstoy wasn't just hated by his family, he was hated by the state and the church. He began to question the group soul. He asked why a man should kill another man just because a government tells him to. He asked why a church should be wealthy while the peasants starved. Nothing is more dangerous to a system than a person who thinks for themselves. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, a contemporary of Tolstoy, spoke of the herd morality. The herd feels safe when everyone follows the same path. The moment you step off that path, you become a transgressor. Tolstoy found that people will forgive a man for being a sinner, but they will never forgive a man for being a heretic. If you find yourself hated for no reason, ask yourself if you have recently challenged a collective belief. Reason 4. The envy of the internal kingdom. The final and most subtle reason for the hatred against Tolstoy was his burgeoning peace. As his world grew more chaotic, Tolstoy grew more centered. He found what he called the kingdom of God within. The world can handle your success, but it cannot handle your serenity. In his work, The Kingdom of God is Within You, Tolstoy argued that true power is self-containment. He was happy with a piece of bread and a book. This made him unmanipulatable. You cannot control a man who wants nothing. The people who hated him did so because they were slaves to their desires, and they saw him as a free man. Envy is not just wanting what someone else has. It is wanting them not to have it. They wanted Tolstoy to be as miserable and dependent as they were. The Strategist's conclusion. Leo Tolstoy died at 82, fleeing his home in the middle of a winter night. He died in a station master's house, surrounded by strangers. He was the most hated man in Russia and the most loved man in the world. If you are facing unjustified hatred today, do not look for the fault in yourself. Look for the light you are carrying. As the Stoic Seneca wrote, "Virtue is shut out by no place. It is open to all. It admits all. It invites all. But it also exposes all." The next time someone plays dirty with you, remember the Tolstoy Mirror. They aren't attacking you. They are attacking the version of themselves they see in your progress. Stay clean, stay standing, and never apologize for the light. Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt that unexplained coldness from someone after you started improving your life? Let's share our mirrors. I read every one. If Tolstoy's journey helped you understand your own, consider subscribing. Let's master the internal kingdom together. Thank you for watching.